Welcome to today's episode, and today we're talking about a little article that I wrote for Trail Running magazine. So let's go check it out. So my article was all about the Ambleside 60k race over in the Lake District, and let me just tell you the story behind this little jolly out before we go any further. So I was perusing through Instagram, as you do, doing the flick, and came across a competition with the nutrition company Voom, and nutrition's really good there. Anyway, I'll pop the link to their information in the description so you can go and check them out. I entered the competition, and it was about a week before the 60k, the Ambleside 60, and I wasn't what you would call match fit. I'd been training for a marathon, but I wasn't kind of ultra ready because of the year that 2020 was. I'd kind of got up to ultra and marathon kind of training, then I'd backed back out of it a little bit, then I'd gone back into it because it might be all in the autumn, then I'd come back out of it again, and it was just over a week, I think, around about the week kind of mark out from the actual race, and I put my name in the hat. I thought, yeah, let's do it, let's put the name in the hat. I'd had this sort of little mantra of in a year where everything felt like people were saying no, that it was really important to say yes to stuff, say yes to opportunity, say yes to possibility, put yourself out there, see what happens. So she pops her name into the hat to win this, and I went to my husband and I went, do you know something, I'm going to win this because I'm not ready for it, I'm not prepped for it, but I bet you I win this competition. And the competition closed. I was tagged in the stories. I went, look, I did win it. I had every reason to not take that place. So I had nobody to take me. My parents were on holiday. My brother was working. My hubby was needed to go on a night shift that night. Obviously the kids needed looking after for a full day. So I had sort of every single reason not to, but I was going to do it. My yescapade was going to happen. So I'm going to put you some pictures in of the run, and then we'll talk further. Okay, so we're down at the computer. I'm going to take you through the article that I submitted. So it's called What I Learned Whilst Out of My Depth. I will put the links to Trail Running magazine, to Voom Nutrition, everything in the descriptions, and it's recommended for sure. So let me set the scene for you a little here. In January 2019, I was 6.5 stone overweight, and I'm going to put a little link to a video, I think it'll be at that side, that tells you about that journey in a bit more detail. Doesn't say that in the article, but that's a Brucey bonus one for you. I was unfit and couldn't make it to the top of my stairs without being out of breath. I made one decision in January. I decided to back myself. I started on New Year's morning, like all good resolution makers do, with a trip to the local parkrun. I'd paid lip service to getting fitter in 2018, but I'd been inconsistent and certainly wasn't all in. I trotted around that parkrun in over 40 minutes. Fast forward 12 months and I'd lost 6.5 stone, and I'd pulled that PB down by 16 minutes. If you sit very still for 16 minutes, you'll realise what a long time that is. I'd entered a marathon in the spring of 2020, and we all know what happened then. But I'd also entered a loop to course running event, which it was as many loops as you can, from 5k to 7 hours worth of running, which I was going to use as a training run, and a 10-mile event, which was a sharpen up of speed before the marathon. These two
events managed to just sneak under the line before the 2020 events cull. In the Saturn Running Looped event in the February, my game plan was to run 20 miles, my long run for the week, walk 10k, and then walk jog up to 50 plus k, with my intention being that I wanted the ultra pin badge to go on my medal. Mission accomplished. Tick. The 10-mile event went so well too, and I was pleased with my speed and consistency over the distance. The next event was an accident, and I was to end up a little bit out of my depth. I entered a competition with Voom Nutrition for a place at Ambleside 60k. As soon as I entered into the comments of that post to raise my hand, I bloody knew I'd win it. I knew it was a biggie. I knew I wasn't match fit, but I knew that I'd win it. The competition, not the 60k. Fast forward a couple of days, and at 10 p.m. I was tagged into their stories on Instagram announcing the winner. Yeah, that'll be me. In a world that felt like it had been constantly saying, no, you can't all year, I decided that it was time to say yes. I dubbed it my yescapade, an escapade born out of the act of saying yes to something. But every fibre inside me screamed to say yes. I had every single reason to say no. I'm a mum and my kids needed me to iron their clothes. I don't really do that. Make packed lunches, sing them lullabies. They're 11 and 13. All day on the Sunday. I didn't have anybody to take me on the 2-hour drive there and back, and therefore I would need to be self-sufficient. Hubby was going on the night shift. We'd need wraparound care. So that's how I ended up completely out of my depth. 37.2 miles, 60 kilometres, 8,000 plus feet of elevation, Lakeland Fells, probably quite technical in places. Do you want to know what I learned in that day? Right, number one, in the Lake District, or insert any other mountainous region, you can, and most likely will, experience every single season in one day. Number two, when running an ultra, you can experience every single emotion that is possible for a human being to experience. Never label those emotions good or bad. Never sit and dwell in them or overanalyze them. Take them at face value and use them to power you on. Number three, talking to yourself out loud will absolutely help you to keep going. I acknowledge all of the flag markings on the course out loud. Yes. Thank you. I also give myself the occasional little pep talk along the way. Number four, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Number five, the provisions at COVID secure aid stations aren't a patch on those that you fantasize about along the way. Number six, keep moving. A big mantra for me. Unless you absolutely must stop, like you need a wee, and it's vitally important that you keep moving. Movement equals momentum, and every step is a step closer to your successful completion. Number seven, whilst not recommended and will never give you the best results, you can be ultra ready as long as you're in reasonable shape and have the right mindset and some experience in 4 days. Yeah. Number eight, nutrition should be an obsession. Make sure you are getting the calories in early and consistently. Number nine, be careful. There's mourners around you. Yes, I get it. People do end up digging in the pain cave throughout an ultra, but some people do love to spend their time there. On a couple of occasions on ascents, I invited runners just to take a little look around them, to drink in the stunning beauty of it all, and ask them, is there anywhere else you would rather be on a Sunday morning? Not only is it good for the soul to help change someone's perspective, but if allowed to continue to dig in and just grind out the hill, they'll have missed all of that beauty. Number 10, your watch battery may not last as long as Garmin professes that it will. Other watch manufacturers are, of course, available. Number 11, when you are a little lightweight, the wind can literally knock you off your feet. Number 12, it doesn't matter what footwear you're wearing, you're never bog-proof at the top of a Lakeland fell. Number 13, race organisers are mistaken when measuring the last couple of miles of a course. They make those ones up because really they are very long. 13, 14, not sure what number I'm up to. Pack more than just sweet stuff. No matter how much you think you've got a sweet tooth, you're always going to want something different. Pretzels saved me that day. Baby food is wasted on babies. true story. Even when you think you can't, you can manage to squat for the lip. Girl problem, I know. You get to meet yourself, and I mean really meet yourself in those kinds of races. And there's wonderful people on the trails, both competitors and others. And I rounded this off with, now I'm left with one burning question. Once you go long and you go off-road, will the road marathon ever have the same allure ever again? So that is what I learned when I was completely out of my depth in an ultra. So please do make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know, number one, if you've got any ultra tips or any things that you've learned along the way, or if you've never done an ultra, do you fancy one? Who knows? See you in the next video. Bye-bye.